Hi everyone, I'm Miss Christina. I'm the teen librarian that has been orchestrating all the crafts for the summer. Thank you for signing up for the Magical Guardian painting kit. That's what we're going to do today. And I'm going to be doing it alongside you under the guidance of Miss Lottie.
Hello, welcome. So today, as Miss Christina said, we're going to be doing a magical guardian. It is a magical guardian. It is nothing but a magical guardian. Right here. So we're going to go step by step through the process on how to create this painting. You're going to have everything you need in the kit. You're going to have a canvas. You are going to have paint globs in little cups. There should be 5 of them. 2 different color blues, a yellow, a white, and a black. And then if you chose to do so, you will have 3 paintbrushes that once you're done, it would be really nice if you washed and then returned to the library so we can do more stuff like this. But that's only if you borrowed them. What you're going to need at home that we didn't provide to you is a cup for water, and then a whole bunch of paper towels because it gets messy. Or maybe that's just me.
I feel like it's everywhere.
Okay, so we're going to get started. If at any point you need to pause the video because I've gone too fast, or you have to wait for your painting to dry to go on to the next step, please feel free to do so. I won't be offended. I won't know. So what we're going to start by doing is painting the background. And we're going to start with the lighter blue on the inside, and then we're going to work our way to black around the outside. So the way we're going to do that is we are going to take our lighter blue paint and pull a little bit into the center. And we're going to take our darker blue paint and mix a little bit in with it.
Miss Lonnie is really good at this. I am not, so don't judge me.
And then we're also going to take a tiny little bit of yellow, because I know you know, but yellow and blue make green. So it's going to be a bluish green color.
Very good.
You're fine. It's fine.
I know what you guys are probably not.
It's fine.
And then a little yellow, you said?
A little bit of yellow. You don't want it like super green, but it's kind of like night sky in the forest, where your magical guardians tend to, you know, hang out. Okay. And then you're going to take a tiny little bit of white and mix it in. And this is where we're starting. So it's really pretty simple. You're just gonna paint an oval with super fun brush strokes in the center. And if you don't like the color blue you made, if you're thinking it's too light, too dark, you can add more of the darker blue in it if you want to. If you think it's too green, you can add more of the blue. If you think it's too dark blue, you can add more of the light blue. It's really super customizable in terms of a painting.
And just remember, if at any point you were looking at it and you don't like what you're doing, just remember you're never going to be this close to the painting again.
Yes.
So take a step back and just look at it, and then you might like it more.
Yeah. So I didn't like how light mine was, so I added some of the dark blue back into it. And you can always adjust things. So if you don't like it, you can fix it. Also, since it's some just weird night sky in the forest background and it's like pretty abstract. It doesn't matter if it doesn't necessarily look like it's a weird night sky in a forest because nobody's gonna know. Okay, so what we're going to do once we have
Just an oval?
Yep, just an oval.
Okay.
We're gonna start mixing a little bit of black into that color in the center. And we're gonna wet our brushes a little bit. They don't have to be sopping wet, but we're gonna want enough water that we can blend the darker blue into that lighter blue in the center.
Once you do the water, do you dip it back into the paint or do you go onto the board?
You can, if you already have paint on your brush, you can dip it into the water, then go right onto the board. If you did not get paint yet, you can then dunk it into the paint.
Okay. And then we do it around the oval? Or?
Yes. So we're going to be overlapping the darker color onto the oval we already painted. And we're going to just slowly continue to add more black to that center color.
I'm really bad at blending too.
It's okay. Nobody's perfect. And we're just going to overlap it. So it's going to go from blue into like a darker blue, and then eventually into black around the outside. And if your paints are not blending and it's like just a big dark blob on top of the original lighter blue, add a little bit more water to your brush. Don't make it sopping, otherwise you're just gonna have all these weird streaks all over your painting. But add a little bit more water and that'll help release the older paint that might have dried a little bit so it can blend into the newer paint that we're putting down. And lucky for you guys, you can pause it. Miss Christina cannot pause me. I have like a speed and that's the speed I go. So sorry.
I am just very thankful that she's doing this for y'all because this will not look like that. I will tell you that.
Good point though. This one will also not look like that. So if you're trying to make it look exactly like the example I have, which you should also have a little example in all of your kits. I forgot to mention that. Don't, because it's not going to look exactly the same. My painting is not going to look exactly the same as my other painting I did 3 months ago. They're just not, and that's okay. That's like what art is about or something. So I'm told. So when you have another darker layer done, you're gonna add more black again to the same pile of paint and just keep going. So the goal is to go from light blue to black, like bluish green. I feel like we're in a race.
I feel like I'm losing.
That's okay. There's no winners in art.
I think she's hearing me, guys.
We're just gonna keep going. And then finally, the last color is just gonna be pure black on the canvas. I am not washing my brush in between colors here because I want the colors to blend together. If we were doing something, going from blue to red, I'm going to wash the brush if I don't want them to blend. But since we want everything here to blend, it's blending from light blue to black, we're not going to wash the brush. That'll just help us get that gradient we're looking for. And when you are on the black, the final plain black, make sure you paint the outside of your canvas. Since it's a canvas, it can be hung right on the wall without a frame. And if you don't paint the edge of your canvas, it's gonna be this just like wonky white looking thing with probably a lot of brush strokes that fell over top and is not gonna look all that spectacular. Do-do-do.
Black part down pat.
We all have to be good at something. So after this step, we're going to let it dry a little bit. The Magical Guardian is other shades of blue, so if it's not completely dry and some blue like bleeds through a little bit, it's not the end of the world, but we want it mostly dry. It just makes it easier. So when you're done with the black, if you like, I don't know, have something else you want to do for a few minutes, feel free. If you have a hair dryer, you can use that to help speed up the drying process. And while it's drying, rinse out your brush really, really well. So this is what it should look like, going from light blue to black on the outside. And I did not paint the entire edge of the painting just to save time. I think you know what painting black on the edge of a canvas looks like. So I don't think I have to do that the whole way for you. So I'm gonna rinse my brush out.
I can't pause, so I'm behind.
That's okay. My cup has a hole.
Oh no!
That's fun. That's a lot of fun.
Well, it's still taking a few minutes if you want to go grab another one.
I don't have any more with me. We're gonna share a cup.
Okay. Sorry. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. So we're just letting it dry a little bit. You can wave it back and forth, blow on it a little bit, whatever. Also, if you grab this side and you just painted it black, well, it's acrylic, so it comes off in water. Have no fear.
Oh, it is messy.
It is messy. And once you wash your brush, dry it pretty well. It's okay. Take your time. Art can't be rushed. She's right, she's nailing the black though.
The rice is probably not so much, but it's okay. The head's moving over there anyway, right?
Absolutely. See? That's the spirit.
Okay.
Look on the bright side.
Okay, so now I clean my brush.
Yep, we're gonna clean the brush. Dry it pretty well. This is about as fun as watching paint dry.
But I'm bummed. Because it is paint drying. We're here all week.
All summer even. I missed my calling.
Should be the next Bob Ross.
I meant the comedy.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, you earned it over this too. Please don't stop the video.
Unless you're behind and you're just pausing, hoping to resume soon.
There.
So the more paint you put on your canvas, the longer it will take to dry. See, look how fantastic it looks.
Again, I'm thinking it looks bad because I'm this close to it, but the camera doesn't look that bad.
Looks fantastic. So the more paint, the longer it's going to take to dry. So if you really globbed your paint on, it's going to take you a hot minute.
Pause the video, go watch the show, come back.
Yeah. If you're really wanting to finish it, go get a hairdryer. And as exciting as this is, just watching two people wave a canvas back and forth, I'm going to carry on, even though it's a little bit wet, but I really advise you to let yours dry completely to where you can touch it and it's not tacky, your finger doesn't stick at all. Mine still does. Whatever, it's fine. I'm a professional. Okay. So what we're going to do next.
I'm gonna let mine dry and mine a little bit more since I was behind it. But I'm gonna watch.
We're going to take the medium-sized brush and we are going to draw a deer head on the canvas. We're just going to draw the outline. I'm going to do it like in the center of my blue splotch. So it's basically like I don't know how to describe the shape. It's kind of like a really rounded triangle. So you start, you round the corners, you're going to come in, and the bottom of his face is rounded as well.
It's kind of like the shape of a candy corn.
Yeah. And if it's super wonky, you go in, because it's just the outline, and you fix it. Okay? So the good thing about trying to just get a shape on here first you have plenty of room to fix your wonky little deer head. So,
My black is still drying, but I'm gonna do this part.
Yeah.
So just a little bit of white.
yep, it's just white. We're gonna just outline it. And just play with it till you have a shape that you like for Mr. Magical Guardian. And then because deer have necks, on either side of, I don't know if it's a technical term for deer, but it's chin. We're gonna just paint 2 lines coming out at a slight angle, curve together on the bottom. Perfect. Okay. Very good, very good. And now on the top corners of his upside down triangle head, we're gonna put 2 ears. So you just start, curve out, and then curve back in to finish the bottom of the ear. And then you're gonna do the same thing on the other side. And if they're not symmetrical, I think that's okay. People aren't symmetrical, so I'm assuming deer aren't symmetrical. I don't have extensive knowledge in this subject, but that's going to be my assumption. Though I know their antlers are symmetrical.
Sometimes.
Yes, sometimes. So I don't know, maybe their ears are symmetrical. Don't quote me either way.
It looks like a lasso over the head or the ears, but
It's the best light bulb I've ever seen in my life. Okay, so now it's going to have antlers coming out in between the ears. If you don't want yours to have antlers, that's fine. If that's what you choose, whatever. Like, it's your painting. It's your painting. But if you are putting antlers in, I like to make 1 branch at a time. So we're gonna come on the right side and make the main kind of antlery, branchy thingy. And then we're gonna try to make the same one on the other side.
Keyword is try.
Yep.
No rage quitting, you guys.
And if it's not perfect, it's okay. Because again, deer aren't perfect. I think. Except for the antlers. But ignore that, it's fine. Okay. Alright. And then we're just gonna continue to put branches on. I don't think that's a technical term for the things on the antlers, but like.
That's what we're gonna call them.
Yeah, we're gonna put branches on them.
So they look like winter trees, kind of.
They do. So whatever you do on one side, do on the other. This is a great time if you messed up part of your background, like cover it with an antler. So this is basically what we have going on. The next step, we're going to take white and basically fill in all the lines just quickly. It doesn't have to be super solid, bright white. If the blue underneath shows through, that's fine. It's just kind of a base coat since the deer head itself is a lot lighter than the background. We want a light background to start so it doesn't blend in.
If it doesn't look sort of white, then that's okay too.
Yep.
Mine's probably gonna look a lot whiter than Miss Lonnie's, but that's okay.
That's just what we're looking for. At this point, if you have part of your antlers that you wanted to kind of touch up, if some of them are a little see-through, you can grab your small brush and go back in and fix it up a little bit. The antlers aren't really going to get a whole lot of blue. A lot of what we're going to paint next is just going to be in the deer face. So this is basically where we're at. So now we're going to put details in the face and then finish it up with some stars in the sky, and then we'll be all done. Yay!
Okay, so now what?
Okay, so now we are going to mix a really light blue and start painting just some shading in the deer face under its neck, so its neck and head have some separation. And then in the ears, so again, the ears and the head have some separation, and then eyeballs. So the lighter blue that you have, we're gonna take some white off the side of our plate, get the lighter blue, and mix it together. And then I'm going to start by painting kind of basically an outline around the deer head. And then I'm slowly going to add a little bit of white. And we're gonna like do the opposite of what we did in the beginning, going from light blue to black. We're gonna go from light blue to white. So we're gonna just come in and paint a little bit over top of that light blue we just put down.
Do you do the light blue all throughout the face? Or?
Just around the outside of the face. And then we're going to come in with white and keep going until it's just kind of solid white in the center. If you have some of your background showing through, that's okay. It kind of adds to the magical guardian effect because they're kind of celestial looking dealies. So again, we just went from the darkest blue, the darkest light blue, and we're just going to add a little white and keep going till the center is mostly white. And we're just doing the inside of the face right now. So you can see like some of the background kind of came through on mine. Remember when I said make sure your painting was really dry, otherwise the background was going to come through? That's what happens. I wasn't lying. So if your background is coming through and you don't want it to come through at all, let it dry a little bit more and then come back to it. But I'm kind of okay with it coming through a little bit. Again, I think it kind of adds to the celestial being look of it. I'm not just saying that.
She would never say that.
Nope. Then once you have your head the way you like it, we're going to take that lighter blue and put it in the ears as well. And for this, we're going to paint pretty much the entire like center of the ear in a lighter blue. And then around the outside, we're going to put an even lighter blue, kind of the reverse of what we did with the deer head center. We went from light blue on the outside to white on the inside, and here we're kind of like doing light blue on the inside and then whiter around the outside. Okay, so perfect. So we're going to do his neck last. We are going to take a little bit of the original light blue and mix it into that light blue we had before, because we want a slightly darker shade. So since it's his neck, we need it a little bit darker so you can tell that it's behind his head. So then we're just kind of gonna outline the bottom of his neck. With this blue. And then just like everything else, we are going to start blending it down into white. So we're going to take a lighter blue next. If your paint is not blending well, You can add some water to your brush. If it's blending, then don't worry about it. So we can see that there's a definitive line underneath his chin, and that is his neck. If you felt the need to use your white brush or your tiny brush to touch up any antler spokes, branches, whatever, wash that out. Because the next thing we're going to do is put eyes in him. So the blue that you just used as the darkest blue on his neck, we are going to use for his eyeballs. So you're just going to look at your painting, and I guess his eyeballs are like kind of underneath where his ears are. I don't know, equal distance away from each other. And they're just like almond shapes. So you just put one in. And then you put the other one on the other side. And if one's a lot bigger than the other, like he could be squinting.
Or winking.
Or winking. Or maybe he just got like poked in the eye. And it hurts a little bit, like whatever. They could be gigantic, they could be tiny. So there are his eyeballs. And then you're going to rinse your brush out. Miss Christina caught up. She's so good.
I kind of skipped some steps, but that's okay.
So disappointed.
I'm sorry.
So disappointed. Okay.
Never gonna invite me to do another one of these.
So then the last step is going to be that tiny little brush. You're going to get some white on it, and you're going to dot around the outside for stars because it's in a starry forest, and stars have no rhyme or reason to them. So just like, you know, wherever. Again, if you messed up in the background, cover it with a star.
Boop, boop, boop. Fun if you do boots too.
So, I don't know if you can see super well from there because these are just tiny little dots. But literally you just put a dot wherever you feel like it. Ta-da!
That's all right. Don't accidentally dip it in the black, like I just did.
I guess the good thing is you could just paint a white dot over it if you did do that. There are no mistakes that we can't fix. And by we, I mean you at home by yourself.
Yes, please don't bring it to the library and be like, fix
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, no.
We'll be like, no.
And then we're done.
Ta-da!
Yay! Yay, Miss Christina!
So see, mine wasn't the greatest, but I'm proud of it, so.
when you do today, tell her how awesome her painting is, okay?
Or if you want to post pictures of it and tag us with it, that would be good too.
Please, yes. We love to see people's stuff, so take pictures, tag us on social media. We have Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Haltom City PL for all of them. We'd love to see those, or you can just email us. You can email them to Miss Christina. That's how you got the link to this anyway, so you should have her email address.
You can just respond it like for fun.
Yes, please do. We'd love to see it. Yeah, that's it for me. So anything?
If you haven't already signed up for summer readings, then sign up for it, please. We've got prizes of candy bars for every 5 days that you read, and for the 35 days, I believe, it is a plushie. And then every week I'm doing a drawing for a gift card, and the grand prize drawing for the summer is a $50 gift card. There's still time to enter for that, so just keep reading, and if you have any questions, just feel free to ask, and we're here for you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks.
Have fun.